name's Noah. I work for this website called PhoneDog.com. I review phones. Look, I've got a phone. It's the LG Ally. That's not how I do my intros. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Noah from PhoneDog.com. That's better. It's the LG Ally. Sorry, I'm fighting off this cold. I think it's gone to my head. The LG Ally Android phone. It's for Verizon. It's the Iron Man 2 phone, you could call it. It's in the movie Iron Man 2. I got this one about a week ago. Been testing it out. Ready to do a review for you. Android 2.1. Full QWERTY board, capacitive touchscreen, 3 megapixel camera. But is it any good? Let's find out. All right, so here's your LG Ally. Let's wipe the fingerprints off this. These phones, man, it's hard for me to keep them fingerprint free. Sorry about that. I've been playing with this one, working with this one for about a week or so now, and a little less than a week, I guess. And in a nutshell, it's decent. It's decent. It doesn't have the horsepower of something like this, the Droid Incredible. It doesn't have the screen size, doesn't have the Snapdragon processor. And while I don't think that processor speed alone should be used to determine if a phone's any good or not, because I've used some phones recently that have, non-Snapdragon 600 megahertz processors that were really impressive. HTC Legend is one of them. The time I got with the T-Mobile MyTouch Slide, which isn't out yet, but is coming soon. I was very impressed by that one. So software optimizations, other things have a lot to do with it. This one, it's not quite as zippy as a Snapdragon processor phone. Some of the Snapdragons I've tried, or even some of those other phones I just mentioned that are 600 megahertz phones. It's certainly not bad, but it's not going to be quite as zippy. Little tiny bits of lag here and there on the device. But in general, it works pretty well. The form factor, it's not, like I said, not the super large screen, not super luxurious feeling either, but it's fine. It's a little more commodity, a little more of a commodity in terms of the plastic materials and that kind of stuff. A little lower price as well, and that's what happens. 3 megapixel camera on the back, so you're not getting the 5 or 8 megapixel camera, but it's got a flash, takes decent photos. Unless you're planning to print the photos, the megapixel size, 3. I know 5 is kind of what people expect these days with these new high-end phones. But, 3 is fine if you're just going to be sharing these, via email or posting them to your social networks or whatever. And it takes decent photos. The flash doesn't, do all that much unless you're very close range, which is kind of the way these things work these days. But the phone has worked pretty well. The voice command system works pretty well. When it works, is it working? Search for chocolate chip cookies. And look at that, that's impressive. You can do a lot with these new Android phones with the voice search, and because it's the action takes place, the translation takes place on Google servers. It's just getting better all the time. It's learning, from all the input that people are giving it. But, little bits, oops, I just turned the screen off there. Little bits of lag here and there. I think, for the average consumer, it's not going to be too much of a problem. If you're if you're a phone geek and you're used to these super high-end devices, you might, you can see there a little bit of lag with, oh, I was just too far over. That wasn't lag at all. I was on the last panel there. That's my fault. But I think if you're, a phone geek, you might, be a little tiny bit, I don't know, frustrated just if your expectations are real high. It's not, a super high-end, like the highest-end phone, but it's a solid mid-range phone. More importantly, I think, is the keyboard. And at first, I was really excited about the keyboard. I thought, finally an Android device, Android 2 device with, a QWERTY keyboard and the capacitive touchscreen and everything. The keyboard's been kind of so-so the more that I've used it. We'll go to somewhere where I can use the keyboard here. We'll go to Twitter, and I'll do I'll send a new status update. We'll say, filming Ally to full review. And you know what it is? The keyboard isn't that bad. The layout of the keyboard is a little weird, and this is maybe just me, and maybe if you buy this phone and you have it and you use it day in, day out, you just get used to it, and that's fine. But the space bar in the bottom row of letters has thrown me off. I'm kind of used to keyboards that have, here's the Kin 2, and, it's got a dedicated row for the space bars in its own row down there at the bottom. And you'll get some phones that are phones that go either way on this. But having the space bar in the same row as this bottom row, the Z row of letters, has kind of thrown me off. And also the comma key being an Alt key. You have to hit Alt to get to the comma. That's something I'm actually seeing more and more on phones these days. The Kin phones were like that. And maybe I just have to get used to it. Maybe that's my fault. But and I just have to get with the times. But that's been a little bit bothersome to me as well. So, at first I was all psyched about the keyboard. It's not, that bad. You can definitely get used to it. But it's not on par with some of my favorite keyboards as of late. So that's something just to kind of be noted, a little minor disappointment to me. It does have a D-pad, does replicate the Android buttons on the keyboard here. So you've got your home button and your menu button and your search button and your back button all on the QWERTY board, which is nice. You can just get to them right here from your thumbs. You don't have to go way up to get to them. So that's kind of cool. But again, just overall a pretty decent Android phone. Not the state-of-the-art phone that perhaps, you'd think with the Iron Man or LG's first Android phone or Verizon or whatever, but definitely solid. You've got this, it's stock Android 2.1. You've got this app called Socialite, LG Socialite, which is basically a social networking app, again with the fingerprints there, sorry. So it's basically a social networking app, Facebook and Twitter integration. One thing about this app that I'm not so keen on is when you tap on Twitter, there's a Twitter, so from the Socialite app, let me go back and do that again, I didn't really explain it. From the Socialite app, when you tap on the little Twitter home button, it actually takes you to a Twitter client, which at first I was like, oh, that's great, it's got, an integrated Twitter client, very cool. The problem is it looks like it's a full-featured Twitter client, but it doesn't have certain features that you'd kind of expect, like retweet. There's no way to retweet. So if I click there on Eric Zeman, it actually will take me, that's going to take me to his profile. And you can see there's a little bit of a lag there while it loaded up, not too bad. Eric, actually one of the editors from Phone Scoop, another mobile blogger. But there's no way to get to this tweet. And that takes me to the link, which is not where I meant to go, but you can see here it's loading up the web browser. So since I got here anyway, may as well show you. The web browser loading up over 3G. The phone also has Wi-Fi. I'm not connected over Wi-Fi right now. But in the web browser, it's got pinch to zoom functionality. You can see, it's not the smoothest. Little bit of lag, a little bit of stuttering there, and that's what you get from having not the super highest end of performance. But then also you can do the double tap to zoom in and out. And yeah, so there you go. There, you get the lag in certain situations. But we'll go back to the Twitter client. And so there's no way to retweet. I keep clicking on that link. Let's go to there. So you can't click on the tweet to retweet it. And you can get to a menu, and I click the menu, and I've got new tweet, I've got @reply, but there's no button for retweet. So obviously, you can, unless I missed it, if you've got an ally out there and you're like, dude, I can retweet, what's your problem? Let me know. I think I said Ally 2 review in the beginning. There is no Ally 2, sorry about that. I probably just caused a stir on Twitter, didn't mean to. It's just the first Ally, obviously. Anyway, obviously you can install, there are a million Twitter apps for the Android platform, including the official Twitter app from Twitter themselves. So you can install your own Twitter app. It's just things like that, though, that, when they're going to have like this nice little widget with the integrated Facebook and Twitter and the integrated Twitter client, but then they leave something out like retweet. That's just kind of annoying to me. Anyway, otherwise, like I said, pretty much stock Android. There's your 3D, Android 2.1, so there's your 3D app drawer, and as you scroll through, you've got there's the Socialite, Think Free Office pre-installed. We'll go to themes here. You can set your themes. We'll go to the LG Home. We'll go back, and now you've got the little LG user interface on the bottom. So this takes you out of stock Android 2.1 a little bit, and this is pretty nice. It's LG's look, which isn't maybe as refined as some of the other custom Androids that you see, but basically does the thing you'd expect with a little widget. There's your weather widget. There's your little, you can get your app drawer there, and then you've got your icons on top, your shortcuts, on top of the drawer there. And it's nothing super spectacular, but kind of nice. And we can go to the messaging app. And so there you go. You know, again, it's pretty much the stock Android, just with a little bit of, a little bit of extras there, a little bit of refinement. And, you know, so all in all, again, it's a solid Android device. I think if you like the keyboard, and you want, you know, like a messaging phone on Verizon, but want, you know, obviously at this point, if you don't mind paying the monthly data fee, the $30 smartphone data fee, why not get a smartphone instead of a messaging phone? Because you can do so much more with it. Or if you want an Android device and you don't necessarily need, you know, the super fast performance all the time, you're not going to be doing a lot of pinching and zooming on the web, that kind of thing, and you want the keyboard, you know, get your hands on it. Try out the keyboard for yourself if you can. And if the spacebar in the bottom row doesn't bother you, you know, it's a solid choice. Again, not, you know, state-of-the-art like a Droid Incredible or, you know, a Nexus 1 level. You know, it's not a Snapdragon phone, like I said, but definitely solid. If you're up in the air, if you're not, you know, tied to Verizon or tied to any particular brand, but you do want an Android phone with a keyboard, I would recommend waiting until that MyTouch Slide comes out on T-Mobile. Again, I only got a press briefing with it. I haven't had the phone to test out myself, so I could be wrong. But on first glance, I was pretty impressed with it, and I really like the keyboard on it as well. So, you know, that might be worth waiting for. But, you know, since I have it here between the Kin 2 and the Ally, I'd go with the Ally because you can just do so much more with it, unless, you know, you really want the Kin interface on top. So there you go, a little mini dogfight. I'll go with Ally. It's the LG Ally for Verizon, Android 2.1, little tiny bit of LG customization. Mostly, you know, you got the little theme on the bottom, and then you've got your Socialite app, but that's pretty much it. Mostly stock Android, but turn-by-turn navigation, you know, voice search like I showed you, the voice command system, pinch to zoom on the browser, 3.5mm headphone jack on top, 3-megapixel camera with video capture, you know, GPS, 3G Wi-Fi, everything you'd expect. The 2 extra Android buttons as well. You know, the call and end button. It's kind of nice to have those hard buttons. And overall, pretty good performance. Voice performance has been good. It's a Verizon phone. The network's pretty solid, at least where I am, and calls have sounded pretty decent. And what can I tell you? It's a thumbs up, but it's not like you got to run out and get it. It's like, you know, solid choice. There you go. Much, much more on the Ally. All the new Android phones, all the Verizon phones, the Kins, the Incredible, everything else that comes out. We'll get you covered over at PhoneDog.com. And, you know, our Twitter account, our Phone Dog page over on Facebook, the YouTube channel, you know, whatever else. Whatever we can do for you, we will try to do. And, you know, hopefully once in a while we'll get it right. Till next time, my name's Noah. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.